Hannah, how much did you bring with you?
What?
Money-wise, how much did you bring with you? So you have $0.
She seems like it.
She was so rude. Working here, you would have to probably be a pretty cold person. That would be a hard line of work. I would not choose it.
Let's work our way backwards.
Virginia's governor today responded to critics after a move by Democrats to ease restrictions on late-term abortions.
The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mothers.
Abortion. It's been a hot topic in the news recently thanks to a new law in New York allowing abortion all the way up until birth. As often with a media-driven national dialogue, most people are just yelling at each other.
This is such a fallacy of the right wing. Abortion on demand is a made-up campaign slogan to get people scared about something that is actually having to do with health care and a woman's right.
This is about a woman's right to choose, and you as a man should not have a single say in that.
My body, my choice!
Her body, her choice!
I'm a nasty woman.
But what are we really talking about here? And is the New York law really all that shocking? Now, it's true, most Americans identify as pro-choice. But when asked on late-term abortions, those numbers flip. So putting New York aside, what does abortion look like elsewhere in the country? I'll show you, it's that simple. We have here with us
Marielle.
Marielle, and Kat, you're going to be her moral support. You are, as I understand it, with child.
I am.
Marielle is 25 weeks pregnant with her baby Rose. At 25 weeks, Rose is well developed. She already has hair on her head, she can get the hiccups, and even recognize her mother's voice from the womb. Rose also has a viability of 50 to 80%. In 7 states with more on the way, it is perfectly legal to abort Rose for any reason. Worse, it's easy. All that would need to happen today for you to actually go through with this abortion would be to say the word yes.
Yep.
So this video is simple. There are 800,000 to 1 million abortions performed every year in the United States, with thousands, tens of thousands classifying as late term. We took a hidden camera to an abortion clinic in Colorado where late-term abortions have been legal for years to show you exactly what it is that they, we, and you are talking about. But right away we ran into some oddly opaque hiccups.
For clinic security, we don't allow any person's bags, cell phones, like literally none of that can come in with you.
Are we allowed to bring like snacks or water or anything like that?
Nothing. It's just like the airport. The only thing you can bring in is a photo ID.
Okay.
That's right, no phones, purses, jackets, hats, so we had to cut a hole in Marielle's shirt and make do. We then sent her back into the clinic where she was briefed on the likely procedure, but was mostly relegated to the waiting room. And that's when something dumbfounding happened. Meet, we'll call her patient X.
How far along are you?
I'm 28. I'm not very big.
And as we later found out, it was actually worse.
Did you get your ultrasound?
Yeah, I'm further along than the, I don't know if get his big head or what. They're like putting me in 32 weeks.
That's right, just like thousands every day across the country, this woman was going to end her 32 week, that's 8 months, her 8-month-old baby's life. For reference, this is what a 32-week-old potential Rose looks like. Fully developed, entirely viable, and without a doubt, not a clump of cells or a zygote, but a baby. And perfectly legal to kill. But it's one thing to look at laws on a page. Let's simply let the nurses and patient X tell you what this experience is like. Not on a podium or a news panel, but behind closed doors when they think no one is watching.
They're trying to, they have to do like an injection, like in your stomach. That stops the fetal heartbeat. I mean, they said it varies. Sometimes it can take 10 minutes, sometimes it can take a couple hours.
Okay, so this is essentially all the different services depending upon whether you would be first trimester, second trimester, third trimester is more medically indicated, like if there are problems with the pregnancy, if there's something diagnosed. But this is what each one of our patients gets.
And there's nothing wrong with, I mean, there's nothing wrong with my pregnancy. Like, it's no fetal, whatever anomalies. All of that checked out fine. I mean, they ran all the tests on it. I mean, he's fine. There's nothing wrong with him. Like, they did like the Down syndrome and they ran all that stuff. I made him run all that stuff. That's all blood work. And it all came out fine. When you essentially walk around for 3 days with a dead baby.
Oh my God.
In your stomach. When did you get sepsis? Like, I mean, sepsis of the blood, like infection, like with the dead. I wrote like my concerns, and I kind of asked the doctor, and they kind of shoved it off like it was no big deal.
Are you guys okay?
Yeah, we're just waiting for ultrasound.
Was she saying anything odd to you?
No.
I'm just always nervous if there's random patients.
We're just kind of just chit-chatting about where we're from, and
There's a whole anti-choice movement of people that get into the waiting rooms and then sit in the waiting rooms and talk people out of there.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's right. 32 weeks, it's not right. Like they must postdate them bigger than what they are. There's no way. They're just here for the money. Yeah, that's ridiculous. How can anyone pay for that? There's no way. I've went 2 different times. It's not like I haven't tried to take. The one time I was 10 weeks. Couldn't take the pill. They couldn't get me in for a surgical thing, and try and find the time to get back up to do it. So that was number 1. Number 2, I went at 18 weeks. It was right before Thanksgiving, and that doctor didn't feel comfortable doing it because of that scar tissue. And so I told that guy to look at that in there, and he's like, yeah, it's really thick on one side, it's really thin on the other. And he's like, but then they were like, well, there's a hospital nearby. I just don't know what to up. That's what I'm just like. I mean, because the uterus, that's a muscle. And that's a very, delicate, I mean, you can perforate it or whatever. But, that's scary. What if something happens to me? Should I do it? Should I not? My husband the whole time was like, you're going to regret this. You don't need to do this. Well, it'll be fine. But I'm like, you're not the one that has to be at home raising it. I do. It's just been between my husband and I, and he's just kind of like, well, do whatever you want. But it hasn't been real, super, and it's I don't really have any good friends that I could, we live in a small town. So it's ugh. And see, he made me go get a sauna at 24 weeks because he was like, you need to see if everything's okay, because if you're gonna have to keep, you need to make sure kid's okay, everything was fine. Oh my God, is he not gonna love me anymore? If I do this.
Yeah.
Because he's told me, Kayla, this, you can't just get pregnant and then do that. This is not, it's not right. You can't get pregnant and then just terminate, he's like, I thought you wanted one more kid. And I was like, I kind of did. But then when I thought about it, it almost took me getting pregnant to be oh my God, I can't do this. My life was made. 2 kids was perfect. How would I explain that to you? The 2 boys, something happened to your mom. She had another baby in her tummy and she was trying to, how would you, he's like, how would I explain that to your mom and dad? Or my parents?
We would have you stay closer if we started the steps, actually in Boulder within a mile or so.
Okay. At a hotel then?
Yeah, there's one that's just up the road that our patients stay at when they're here.
Okay.
Just because they'll be dilating your cervix and causing some changes.
Okay.
And then if something came up, we would want you to have to try to get, from Denver up to us. We could see you in 4 minutes instead of 40.
Where are you staying?
At the university.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a hole too. It's not awful, but it's kind of sketch. But that's where they recommended me to stay. It's not very far from here. So I feel very selfish, doing this. That's why I'm having such a hard time with it. I was raised Catholic my whole life. It's I'm going against everything that I was ever brought up to be. You know what I mean? I'm doing this basically for my kids.
Do you feel like you're gonna do it still?
I came all this way, and it's we already have 2 other children. And I was I can't do this again.
It's hard, right?
I cannot start all over again.
Are they supposed to put the injection today?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord Jesus, please stop having this abortion. Please save her baby. Oh, Lord Jesus.
We all still pray here that patient X didn't go through with it, but like the thousands of women and doctors previously mentioned, she probably did. See, the national dialogue usually centers around medically necessary abortions.
People who are seeking an abortion that late in their pregnancy are women who either are at severe health risk because of going through with the pregnancy or because their fetus is facing severe abnormalities. It may be incompatible with life. It may be unviable to live outside the womb.
But those are rare. Or we often hear about the cases of rape and incest, but they never ask about those anyway. Even more often, we hear about how late-term abortions only account for a small percentage of those performed.
Only 1.3% of abortions happen during or after 21 weeks of pregnancy.
And there's not like third trimester abortions, like that's not a thing.
Take into account that nearly 1 million abortions are performed in the United States on any given year. That's more than all homicides or suicides, drug overdoses, alcohol-related deaths, and car accidents combined, if you multiplied them all by 4. That's 10 to 12,000 viable, fully developed baby boys, baby girls, baby roses. Now, I get that many of these women are lied to. A lot of them don't rightly know what's actually happening in that medical room. But what about the doctor? How does a doctor perform abortion after abortion after abortion at 20 weeks, 25 weeks, 29 weeks, a full 8 months, day after day? When he ends these lives, he sees their faces. He sees their fingers, their toes, their eyes. This isn't a statistic on a worksheet, but a real, autonomous human being. What kind of a doctor harms that? Well, in this case, Dr. Warren Hearn. He started his abortion clinic in 1973, right after the passing of Roe v. Wade, and has been proudly serving abortions ever since. Even boldly trumpeting his willingness to perform abortions at 34 weeks, that's 8.5 months. Now, this is all far beyond the scope of what most Americans think they're advocating when they claim to be pro-choice. So how does a doctor who took the Hippocratic Oath justify this? Well, it's pretty easy if you're a neo-environmentalist like Dr. Hearn, who sees human beings as actual cancer. Now, this is all far beyond the scope of what most Americans think they're advocating when they claim to be pro-choice, because who in their right mind in today's American mainstream, left or right, would support this kind of pure, unadulterated barbarism? For the answer to that, you just have to ask any of the prominent figureheads of today's DNC. Potentially, your next president.